Hey,
What's up?
cats and kittens.
Can you tell what tip we're on for this week's episode? If you do happen to watch our video, you will see that all of us have been watching Tiger King, I think.
A little bit.
Just a little bit. I actually think that binge watching these Netflix shows is an extreme sport.
Ooh,
I really
that's an opinion.
I'll accept it.
Well, because you have to find one that you're gonna stick with, and even when there's like low spots, you have to like ride through it. Because even in Tiger King, like I don't know, there were
yeah.
After a couple episodes where I'm like
3, you're kind of in the last episode. I was like, come on, get to it.
Well, because like when he was running for his presidency and stuff, I was kind of like, I'm suspending my reality for a lot of things, but you as president, like, I like
I would go Joe Exotic over Trump, though.
I mean, he's a gay libertarian.
The Liberace of the cat world.
He's got that going for him.
yeah.
I think it's legitimate. I think that is a new sport. I think binge watching anything. I mean, if there is a sport where you eat hot dogs.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Binge on hot dogs.
That's definitely ESPN2 shit right there.
I mean, that's probably the only thing they could do. People are like from home with their stacks of dogs, and they could actually air that.
Yeah, probably.
Binge watching and eating hot dogs? Is that what you're talking about?
Binge watching extreme eating competitions.
Don't make it. I mean, at this point, we're pretty thirsty for any type of competition. Let's be honest.
This is true. This is true.
I will watch almost anything. It just has to be one in which there's no contact and you can do it quarantined, and it's something that could be interesting. I mean,
I'll do it. I'll be the first extreme binge watcher athlete.
Ooh,
I'll do it.
How do we score this?
I think it'd have to be scored like your like position on the sofa. Like
okay.
Maybe
like this.
like
this.
Snack choices.
Snacks.
Your balance. Yeah, your balance, your choreography.
Staying awake.
It's like golf. So every time you do get up to go to the bathroom or grab a snack, that's a -1.
Oh yeah. It's like she birdied on episode 3 when she had to go take a dump.
That was 3 strokes, 3 times to the bathroom for episode 1.
There's definitely something there. There's definitely something.
Yeah, I think so.
Well, from that, Karen, how's it happening? What's because Kendall and I are down here, in Los Angeles. So how's it going?
You guys, and I was going to text you, but I said, I'll save it for the pod. I'm like, if we're in lockdown till April 30th, that means my birthday.
Oh.
I'm going to be in quarantine.
Oh.
We'll have to have a Zoom party.
I know.
We'll have a Zoom party.
Bake my own fucking cake. Buy my own alcohol. And invite too many people who don't know each other.
Yeah, leave it open. Leave it open for pop-in porn.
Oh, open invites.
I kind of like that. That's a nice.
All the listeners can come.
Yeah.
It's a nice surprise gift of porn.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll put the Zoom meeting.
That'll be your birthday
Make it public.
stripper.
People actually. What is the limit on Zoom?
I think it's up to 100 with the basic.
Whoa.
Yeah.
And we got premium, baby.
So there you go. So we could probably get a Zoom party. All right. And something we could.
There you go.
There you go. Because we're going to the 30th. I think it's hilarious that people are like, well, in June. And I'm like, no. I don't think you understand the long haul of this. And even if, let's say, we do pop off in May, there's going to have to be some ramp up time.
Oh, yeah. It's not like immediately, woo, everyone go to a party. It's like, okay, now we're going to open church.
Yeah.
Because not a lot of people can go.
Exactly. Here in LA, it's going to be like, okay, first we're gonna open all the Botox places.
Yes, all salons
Yeah.
and hairdressers,
And nail
massage
salons.
massages.
And we're gonna go from there.
Yeah,
So-
LA for sure will reopen that shit.
Oh, are you kidding me?
But you're gonna be limited. Like, you know how you could usually wait? No, you're gonna only like 3 or 2 people at a time in the salon. Like, it's gonna be complicated.
it's gonna be there's gonna be a whole new
Why
protocol.
gotta be so complicated?
Hey,
Wow.
that's a good song.
That's a good transition.
Well, before we get into our Women Crush Wednesday, I want to, of course, do my housekeeping as we normally do. So remember to please subscribe or like and review us on Apple Podcasts and Spotify, iHeartRadio, Pandora, wherever you pod. Also follow us on Twitter and Instagram at The Hoops Talking. And we have a YouTube channel now. So you can see the video, you can see these amazing backgrounds that we have on our Zoom channel. And hey, if there's a sponsor out there that wants us to put their name on our Zoom background, let us know. We can get that done too.
Or have Karen drink your product or snack.
Yeah, we'll eat your product online. Obviously, extreme eating is going to be.
This one's brought to you by Diet Coke.
That disappears.
And what is it the Hoops Talk podcast? Is that our YouTube channel?
Yeah.
So
Just
we
like
have our
TikTok,
YouTube
right?
channel.
You had to do podcasts at the end as well.
Okay, then I mean we link it up so you'll be able to go somewhere and find it. And then of course we have our TikTok. It's been popping off with our TikTok intern. So that's at the Hoops Talk podcast. So you should go and check us out on TikTok. I think my intern is doing really well. And he'll give us updates. He's not going to be on this podcast this week, but maybe next week. I have to check with his momager, but he is doing a great job. So make sure you go over to TikTok, like his stuff, etc. And I think that's it for the housekeeping. So we're ready to move on. Let's see. Transition music. Okay, so Women Crush Wednesday.
Crush it, women.
We are going to have a guest Zoomer come in. I'm going to text her a little bit when to pop up. So I'm really excited. We're going to be joined by RJ White. She's a CEO of the Vipers Pro men's basketball team. So she's going to be joining us in a few. But before we get to her, I wanted to point out, did you guys happen to catch Megan Rapinoe and Sue Bird on IG Live?
Yes, loved it so much.
It was so good. First off, they did discuss the Tiger King in length. They had a lot of the same questions that we had, such as how is, that definitely they believe Carol killed her first husband.
Yeah.
100%.
And they also wondered, why is Don's first wife the same age as his daughter?
Yes.
Why were they sitting on a love seat and not a couch?
Didn't he marry the first wife when she was 10?
I don't know.
I don't know. I'll have to go back. Maybe. They also wondered about the brace that Joe Exotic wears. Because they would.
Brace.
Yeah.
Was that when he got when that cat? Remember, she was talking about sardines.
No. I think he had an accident.
Oh.
I think he was in an accident prior. That's where he got that. He also got an EMT jacket during that whole mauling of the woman's
when her
arm.
arm got ripped off, all of a sudden he's like,
from the EMT.
He also had 2 husbands that were both straight. I mean, meth was involved. They mentioned that because they happened to mention that Megan comes from a heavily methy town.
Yeah.
And her husband's teeth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They also
John's
talked
teeth.
about they talked about I guess there was a drinking story with Sue and Diana Taurasi where they drank Megan under the table. She apparently can't hold her liquor. I think they ended the whole thing by singing Avril Lavigne's "Complicated," which Karen gave us a little taste of at the top of the show. So I thought it was fantastic. I hope they do it every Sunday. I will watch it. I'm like obsessed. I mean, there's so many fucking IG lives.
Amazing.
There's a lot. But theirs was one that I watched from start to finish though, because it was so entertaining. Plus, you don't like you see those two out and about in like pictures and they're always posting, but you never actually see them like interacting with each other.
Yeah.
So it's cute to like see them just being a couple and being like, we're stuck at home and yeah, we're arguing a lot.
Yeah.
and yeah, we're eating a lot of food and snacking constantly and watching everything that you're watching. And yeah, so that was
nice.
That was cool.
Yeah, that was
cool. I think they were looking for names for their show.
Oh.
Well, maybe we'll have to do a brainstorm.
We should submit some ideas, right?
I know we should.
Yeah.
They're great. I think they're great.
Rappin' Bird.
Oh, okay. Well, don't give them all away.
Yeah.
You can definitely tell, like towards the end though, that Megan Rapinoe was getting a little sloshed.
Oh, absolutely.
I loved it though.
Yeah, absolutely. And she ended up doing another IG live with AOC. I think like either earlier that week or right after. But yeah, there's a lot of IG lives popping off in this quarantine time. But I mean, my Instagram is constantly buzzing with somebody going live, and I'll be like looking through my feed, and like 5 lives will like pop out.
Live.
I'm like, I get it. I absolutely get it. And I appreciate it. It's a lot. I'm not going to hate on it. I know everybody, you know, they're trying to figure out what works. So I'm not mad at it. But I do think there are some that I just like leave really fast. And there's some like the Sue and Megan one that I was like, oh my God, this is so good. It's really entertaining. They're really entertaining.
Yeah,
so
they are.
I really hope they keep that together.
I wonder if that could be a new sport. It's like binge drinking during a live IG live, and whoever's drunk down, you know, everyone gets to bet who's going to go down first.
That's not a bad idea, actually.
You know, people are desperate.
That's not a terrible idea.
It's not. It's not. You watch 2 people just like take shots until one pops off, and then another, and then send a request. Not bad. It's not bad.
Should we do it? Let's be the first to do it.
I'm going down. It's awesome.
Karen's going to be the first going down. I 100%.
Yeah. I mean, if it was this, that might be a different.
No, she cannot. She cannot. So I put them in our Women Crush Wednesday. Yeah. And then I mean, it's sad news, but I wanted to mention about Doris Burke, her having tested positive for COVID-19 is just absolutely devastating.
You know, COVID, can you just attack the right people? I mean, you know, we want to get corona.
Right? I volunteer tribute to take her spot.
For sure.
Save Doris.
Yeah. Save Doris, man.
Honestly, like, it's so bizarre because the people that you would think would totally be like, oh yeah, they definitely are going to get it because of their asinine ways, don't seem to be cleared. Like, I totally think Joe Exotic will get it, but he probably won't. He'll be free and clear. But Doris Burke probably has done everything right, and just like that, she gets it. So, we got to be careful with that stuff. But thoughts and prayers to the GOAT, Doris Burke, and I hope she is. You know, she may not have any symptoms.
Yeah.
You know, so we're hoping for the best. So let's get our guests in. I'm going to text her right now to come on in to our Zoom. Super excited.
All I want to do is I'm a zoom.
A zoom, and a bit. Who's zooming who? I like that song. I actually have the album of Aretha Franklin with that song on it. It's quite a
Maybe you need to do a DJ IG live.
It has Freeway of Love on it as well, which is a great song.
Like you and Steven just pull out the vinyl and play stuff.
Yeah.
Like a dance party.
I can only imagine how bad that would end up. It would be one of those, what is it, reality versus real life type of scenarios. So, but yeah, no, I'm excited to get our guest in here. Is she getting in? Are you seeing her?
I'm not getting an alert.
Oh.
That's why.
No.
Telefono.
Sorry, I had to make it work.
You need to go get your modem.
I do. Before she gets on, I'm gonna grab my charger though.
There, get it.
That's smart.
Derby.
Oh, great. We'll get a full shot of
Joe.
Joe Exotic. You guys have to see this video because you'll see this Joe Exotic background. It's fucking hilarious. Oh, hi!
Hi, RJ.
Hi!
Hi. How are you?
I'm coming.
Good. Are you?
Yeah.
Our producer just went to go get her charger. How are you?
I'm doing great. You have to love technology. I'm like, right when I'm supposed to log in, it's like, oh, your app needs to update. Your phone battery.
Oh, of course. Everything.
Like,
download this. Yeah.
Gotta love it. Hey, I need another charger. Can you give me a charger? Sorry.
See, I wasn't the only one.
This is
How are
perfect.
you?
Good. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. Trying to catch up on sleep if possible.
Right. Where are you located, RJ?
I'm in Gurnee, Illinois, about maybe an hour 30 outside of Illinois.
Okay. All right. So you're in what? CMT, GMT?
What's your time zone? Yeah.
The time zone?
Central Standard Time, CST.
Okay.
Yes.
What are you trying
Yeah. I'm the same way. Trust me. I get so many like phone calls. I'm like, wait, PT.
Yeah.
I'm like, CST, PTS.
Exactly.
I'm working on all of it.
I know. It's a struggle. The struggle is real for all of us. The technology and everything.
Man, I'm trying.
It's a whole new world too with all this stuff that's going on, not getting into the studio, not being able to be together. So we're just trying to figure out what's working.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I know. It's really difficult trying to get acclimated. For me, because I do a lot of, like international conversations.
Yeah.
I'm pretty used to like the video conferencing. But, as of late with technology, like I said, it's just my phones are not my friend. So I'm trying to get them back in good graces if I can.
Well, I am just so thrilled that you are able to join us for this podcast. And I know before all this craziness, we wanted to have you on earlier and things got just backlogged when we were trying to figure out like how we're going to move forward with the podcast. So I'm so glad that you had the patience and we're able to get you on now. And we're super excited to talk to you. I had mentioned at the top of the podcast that you are the CEO of Vipers Pro Men's Basketball Team. And I would love for you to tell us how you became an owner and, just like your origin story, I guess, of how you are now a female, one of the few female owners of this basketball team.
Definitely. So I am owner of Vipers Pro Men's Basketball Team. We are obviously located in Gurnee, Illinois. Hey, can you grab this for me? We are Gurnee's Pro Men's team, but outside of that, we actually are the only international team, or the only team that it has over 12 international alliances. If you think about Julius Erving, when he had the red, white, and blue ball, we're in the exact same league. The overall goal for me is NBA G League ownership, or at least, a presidential position, something that's in, that particular realm. So that's kind of where it is. How I got involved, I know I had the opportunity of kind of like just speaking to some people in the executive office for the NBA, and I couldn't tell you how I managed to reach who I reached, okay, and which I will not disclose. I did let them know what my passion was, and they said, you know what, you're going to need experience. They're like, I can tell from how you're speaking that you have a passion for what you do and you have a love for what you do, but it's all about, the history, the experience, basically your track record. So I said, okay, that's fine. I understand. Like, I would want somebody that's going to work for me to have experience too. So that's pretty much how the Vipers was born. I was like, okay, I got to find anyway, to prove that I'm able to be on this particular stature. So I purchased the Vipers back in 2014, and we've literally been making history ever since. We're at like literally 2 million in analytics. We travel to, myself personally, I've been to over 7 different countries. The organization, we're at 3. We're anticipating to be in 12 by 2022 now, because everything's kind of pushed back for a year. And then, our goal really is just to set our players up to be in a better position, and to get them to understand what it would take for them to be in the NBA. So building a platform while still following our dreams, I guess I could say.
I love that. So how is it that, at being a female owner, there's going to be roadblocks that come up being a female, and then being a Black female CEO, there's this added robot, or maybe there isn't, maybe you can tell us, like, how do you get that organization to like say, you're like, I'm true and tested, and you should, follow me. Like, how do you instill that leadership? Because I would assume, in men's sports, we feel it too, that when, they come in on us, they're not necessarily like, I don't know if they know about sports or, this and that, so how did you combat that? How did you take hold of that?
Well, as far as somebody actually saying it, we'll say like to my face, I haven't ever had that, but that's probably because I don't smile very often. People are like, oh my God, like she's really me. But other than that, I haven't really had the opportunity to run into that particular obstacle yet. A lot of the people that have reached out to me, I'm talking about ministers of countries, which would be considered like a president here. All of them, they actually came to me because they either heard about, the work that I've done and the culture that I've created with my organization, and they want to be a part of that. So I've always gotten the good side of it. I actually don't think that I will probably do too bad in the bad side of it, because I'm pretty good with handling, adversity. It's almost like, because I hear it so much, like I expect it. And I think I've kind of like, like subconsciously already prepared myself for it. But I haven't had any issues. I've had some pretty big names, excited to work with me. So
that's awesome.
I'm pretty good at that.
So cool.
That's awesome. And one of the things when you and I, in communicating back and forth, you mentioned that this league, these teams and these leagues are the foundation for players like a Steph Curry or like a LeBron James style. Can you speak more about that? Because I know you talked about Dr. J. Can you elaborate a little bit on that?
Yeah, I mean, well, it's all written in the books, right? Like the ABA really did pave the way for the NBA. They were bought and absorbed by the NBA, so they really did pave that doorway for our current and modern LeBron James, Steph Curry's, Patrick Ewing's, Akeem Olajuwon, all of those guys. So I feel like it was a stepping stone. If it weren't for the ABA, I feel like a lot of those guys probably wouldn't be where they are today. So I give the ABA the utmost respect for that realm of things. When it comes to the Vipers organization, we are a part of the ABA, but I work so diligently to make sure that the Vipers name and brand is so expansive into so many different places that I'm going to be a little bit selfish and take more of that credit myself.
I love that. I love that. And I also, you mentioned that you're venturing into UK. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Well, each year already, we're a part of a classic tournament that's there. And as far as I know, I'm the only U.S. pro men's team that goes there. I think they have like a USA, like a junior team that participates. But as for us, it's just another floodgate for us as far as expansion for the Vipers name and the Vipers brand. I wouldn't be too surprised to hear about a female going into the UK and potentially being the first of something very large on the basketball magnitude.
And, because you are in so many different countries, I think you said you're connected to 12 different countries. Do you find that like when you're working with these different countries, is UK much more like, are there some countries that tend to be like much more gung-ho in wine where are there's others that you have to do more research with? Because I was recently in London, and I did notice that it seemed to be there was more inclusion that I saw with creed cultures, male, female, and different roles. So for you, having been in so many different countries, do you find that there were some that were much more collaborative, others that you had because of the different customs, and because the United States pretty much like, you're like, I do what I want, I'm the way I want, dress the way I want.
Yeah.
I'm curious how those challenges.
Definitely. I mean, well, the United States, we have the freedom of speech, so like we do move accordingly to just having that a freedom of speech. So it's a lot of things that we can say and do that we feel comfortable doing here. I think I've been in almost every situation going out of the country that I've probed myself now to know like what you can and cannot do in certain countries. I think your third world countries are probably going to be, just the hardest to deal with because they have a more unique government and government alliance. So, when you're going to like those Caribbean islands, and if you're going to like, Africa, places like that, you just have to be a little bit more mindful as far as whose toes and things like that you step on, because there's a lot of people, they'll talk to you over the internet, but when you're face to face, like they mean business. There's respect, of course, going over to Seoul, South Korea, you have to, show a level of respect. You got to be careful who you take with you. I've had people literally go there and spit on the ground, and you like, yo, like this is not the United States. Do not do that. And you'll have officers that will turn around and look at you like, I'm gonna give you a pass this time because we know you ain't from here, but you do it again, y'all go to jail. So it just depends. But I've made it my business to study the culture of each country that we're in, especially study the laws. I do have some people, that I deal with as far as like the embassy. And then, I have a good team of attorneys that they kind of keep me heightened and enlightened when it comes to the different things you can and cannot do in other countries. So I feel like I go there well equipped.
That's awesome.
Nice.
And now, I mean, with coronavirus and how it is affecting us, I mean, every inch of this planet there is something happening. How is that affecting you? How's it affecting your players and other players that you're working with, across the world?
Well, it's affecting everybody. I mean, families, I've come across families that I know personally that have contrasted the virus. So I kind of really do hold it near and dear to my heart. And I do tell people to be very smart and, stay safe and take it serious because you can't, affect somebody else. And I think people aren't understanding that with these social, gatherings and stuff that they're doing, but how it can affect my players. I mean, if I'm in the middle of a contract negotiations, which I was actually in the middle of 3, and once everything hit, it was like, okay, everything's dropped. We need to wait. Like there's pretty much nothing else that we can do until this kind of, stools over. And then for the players that were already there that I've placed, all of them got sent back home. So, imagine a person having their first experience signing their first overseas contract and, in a month in, amid everything that goes on, they're sent right back home, dream shattered. So it does hit and affect everybody, but I understand why it would happen that way because it's for their fair safety. But nonetheless, 2021, 22, you can expect me to go harder than ever to make up for lost time.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to the grind.
Nice.
That is awesome. And I know one of your goals is to be own a G League team.
Yes.
Can you tell us
It's a manhunt. It is literally a manhunt for it right now. And I'm working toward it diligently every day. I study the policies. I study the collective bargaining agreement. I'm studying ownerships, budgets. Mm-hmm. So you better believe when I get the phone call, you don't have to ask me if I'm ready. I'm going to already be ready. So, but those calls, we're closer than we think. That's what I would say.
That is so awesome.
Come back when that happens for sure.
Oh,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
This is so exciting. I mean, I learned so much in, just learning more about the ABA and also about the Vipers and, what you're doing. Cause we like to do research too, so that we know who we're talking to. And
Absolutely.
I had no idea that existed. So it was so interesting to me that's such a, like, it's huge. It's pretty huge.
Oh
I mean,
yeah,
the
the
ABA,
ABA,
like the past.
they have about 150 teams, if I stand corrected. But each team is really an entity within it, within itself. When it comes to, like the bagging of the league, marketing dollars, all the stuff that I want to play with as an owner, where you get like the marketing budget, the arena assignment, the fan base, fan engagement, gear, basketball, stuff like that. Unfortunately, the league does not do that for us that I would like. But, you never know what, may come of them in the future. So right now we are a standalone. So everything that you see for us, from sponsors to venues to events, international alliances, gear, those are all me.
Yes, dude, own it.
Yes. God, you are fine people. Boss babe. I mean, damn.
Thank you.
That is so impressive. Oh, I'm like, I got crush on you now. I'm like blushing here. 'Cause that's tough. That's tough.
Oh yeah,
That is really tough. That's really, that's so impressive, And you said there's only maybe a few other female owners in the ABA right now, besides yourself?
Yeah, I want to say it's about 5 of us in total, to my knowledge. But yeah, I think the last number that I remember is about 5. International alliances, I might be the only one. I don't know.
Wow.
I'm just throwing that one out there.
We'll
Especially to have 12 or more. But that's me being humble, humbly, gracefully saying, because there are some really good owners. I know one good friend of mine, she owns a team in Baltimore. She's amazing. She runs her team very, very, very great. So I do give her kudos. But, I haven't really had the ability to speak to others or speak for others. So I can't put my name on that.
Right.
If that makes sense.
Right. And do you watch like the other, are you like, do you like WNBA or like the big 3 that, Ice Cube? I mean, do you interplay with them or?
I am a marketing buff. Like everything that I look at, which is why I love everything you guys do. Okay. I'm a marketing buff. So I literally watch the big 3. I watch the NBA. I watch the G League. I look for trends. I've even took the ability, which everybody always laughs at me, and went all the way back to the 1950s and the 1960s research for marketing trends for sports. Okay. Wow. And I've placed that into the model for Vipers Pro Basketball. So it's going to be so many great things that's coming up for us, man, for 2020 and 2021. It's like almost surreal.
Oh my God. I'm so excited. It's incredible. You're truly an inspiration. Okay. I wasn't feeling so good this morning, but now I'm feeling
That's the goal. Like, that's the goal.
Well, that's awesome. Before we let you go, can you give maybe one tip to our audience? Because we have a lot of people that do listen to us, and they're trying to start their own businesses, or they're in sports and they want to, either be a sports writer, or they're an athlete, or they're just like huge fans, but it's all about the drive. Do you have one tip that you might be able to impart for them so that they can be motivated or continue the hustle or continue the marathon it is to get to their goals?
Absolutely. I would say prioritization. Most people don't know that I'm a mom of 5. Okay. So I do all of this while having children. I have a 3-month-old. So I was in London, UK on a plane, eating saltine crackers and drinking water, pregnant with my daughter. So I would say, as long as you prioritize, you literally can do anything. Aside from that, I would definitely say nothing is going to come great unless you give it 5 years. Like most people, they get a business and they're like, okay, I need this business to happen overnight because the idea is there, the drive is there. It has to be time, energy, effort, grind, and biggest thing is time. Like if you don't take the time and you try to cut corners, you're going to end up right back at start. So, and don't give up. because a lot of people, when they don't see results, they start to just feel like they're not accomplishing anything, and they'll cut that and go to something new. So stay consistent.
Wow. Thank you
Great.
so much. I feel even more, just more honored that you were able to take some time to talk to us, and especially knowing that, I already thought like, wow, she runs a whole team, but you run a full team at home,
Full
starting
team.
5.
Starting 5.
Starting 5, yeah.
So I'm just like, wow, that is huge. So huge. Thank you so much for coming onto the podcast. And we want to have you back on. So let's definitely, we want to know how your goals are and how you're getting through, these times, when we get out of this, when we get, into the new phase. Would love to see where you're at. So we're going to be following you because you are just incredible force.
Thank you. I really appreciate you guys for having me. You have no idea. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. And we'll definitely be in touch. You're amazing.
Okay. All right.
Thanks, RJ.
Thank you, RJ.
Bye.
Wow. If you didn't know her, you better put her name down somewhere because she is going to be known.
Yes.
She's definitely,
For
RJ
sure.
White. Woo!
RJ White. Put it in your brain right now.
Put it in your brain. Yeah. Put it in your brain because this is going to be, she's it. She's it.
Yep.
What a total honor. Wow.
I know.
I feel like
My
I'm
lazy
doing
ass
nothing
here is like, oh, one kid got to homeschool and go to work and then record the podcast. I'm so tired.
No,
She's got 2 teams she's running.
Yeah.
Already.
Absolutely amazing. Oh,
yeah.
So good. So good. Well, that was a perfect way to end our Women Crush Wednesday segment, if ever there was one.
I love how she buried the lead. Remember last time when we were talking about like Chrissy Yamaguchi and her fucking cleft foot or whatever, clubbed foot?
Oh, yeah, that was you.
But RJ, too, I was like, oh, I'm not even going to mention in my communication with you guys, I'm a mom of 5. It was like, oh, shit.
That is a big one, definitely. All right. Well, thank you, RJ, for coming on. We learned so much about what you do and how you do it and just the fantastic force that you are. And I can't wait to have you back when, just whenever.
Yeah. we got
under her wing.
Yeah. If the Vipers are ever in LA, we'll have to go to a game.
Oh, for sure. For sure. We'll definitely be there. Okay. So we're going to take a little break to regroup. And when we're back, we're going to talk about WNBA, baby. Okay, and we are back. WNBA ladies, there's some news.
There's a lot of news.
There's a lot of news. So the WNBA is now offering a 30-day free preview of the WNBA League Pass.
Oh.
So Karen, you and I pay for it.
Yeah.
But Kendall, I don't know if you have purchased the League Pass yet.
Nope, I don't.
You know what? I would recommend checking it out. You can watch full-length games for free. I would probably, if we had Asia Wilson tell us her top 3, so those are in our last episode. So if you want to see one of those, I'd probably watch like every single LA Sparks game
through the League Pass.
Yeah. If possible, but I already have it. So actually, well, I think you can watch the games. Because I know with the NBA, they black out.
Yeah. Your local market.
Yeah.
I think WNBA does it for all, and it's like way cheaper than NBA League Pass.
Yeah. NBA League Pass is a hefty price. Not gonna lie to you. We pay it because anonymous Knicks fan likes to watch the Knicks games. But so that is
Yikes.
that is 30-day free. I don't know. It might start today because I know they put the piece out about it yesterday, I think. So jump on that, or it might start in April. I don't know. Okay, so they put out a press release. We actually got the press release email.
Whoa.
I know, very special, from the WNBA regarding the 2020 draft that's going to be presented by State Farm and is going to be held on the 17th. It's going to be a virtual draft. And I think they said it was going to be televised on ESPN2 and the ESPN app, but it might actually be on ESPN now, like the actual ESPN channel.
It better be on ESPN. What else is going on? Why can't we get the
Seriously.
main freaking
Exactly.
thing here?
I better not see ants racing or fucking marbles going around or simulated fucking NFL.
Come on,
brackets.
man. It's literally the only thing that's happening, and you're going to put them on the second channel?
Seriously.
I'm surprised they weren't like, you guys get ESPNU?
What is that? Ocho?
The Ocho, yeah. They don't even get the Ocho. You guys get like the Cinco or something like
Oh, this, yeah. Yeah, I would think they would want it on the ESPN, whatever. But it actually might have been updated to ESPN, but from the press release, it said ESPN2 and the ESPN app. So maybe we should have a draft viewing party or something. It's not like that's that many teams.
Yeah.
It'll go by like that.
Yeah, super fast.
There's ways to like, I know that like we could watch like screen share. So like on our Zoom, we could screen share it and record it if we want to do that.
Our rapid reactions to the draft. That's something we could play around with. Okay, so we're coming up with some ideas on this podcast, and I'm liking it.
Yeah.
Live
There's that whiteboard function. We could do some crazy drawings.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Oh,
Okay.
gosh.
Let's see. Also, the WNBA are also going to honor Alyssa Altobelli, Gianna Bryant, and Peyton Chester, who, as we know, tragically passed away in the helicopter accident on January 26th. So they're going to be doing some honoring of them, as well as doing something for Kobe Bryant. So it's going to be an emotional, I wonder if it's going to be like, I figured it's already going to be emotional, but I wonder how it's also going to be because there's not going to be anyone there. And the whole idea that like the reason why people aren't there is because of a pandemic. I wonder if that's going to add a lot of gravitas to. And also like, I don't know. I feel like those girls must feel real cheated that.
Every athlete in their senior year should feel cheated.
Yeah.
Like I wanted to see Sabrina freaking win the title this year and we didn't get to. Like everybody knows she wanted to. They made it to the Final Four last year, right? Like every senior that should have had the opportunity got cheated out of that opportunity this year, and it sucks. I mean, even like the NFL draft guys, they're gonna get cheated out of the opportunity too. Like, it just sucks.
I know it's like there's a whole asterisk to this season of unfulfilled like dreams.
Yeah, it's weird.
It's so weird. I know that one of the women that was going to go into the draft deferred so that she could do one more year with her team. Who knows? You can't get that back. You can't like play it.
No.
That's the other thing too. Like how? Okay, so the
NBA, next year,
the NBA is talking about resuming, and you're like, do you really want to just? Or no, they're saying like, well, we could do playoffs, but do you really want to do playoffs? Don't you? I'd rather just resume like regular season if you're going to go back to it, because I don't want to go just straight to playoffs. There's so many games that we'll never have. I don't know.
Yeah.
This all sucks.
Yeah. I was saying NFL is going to go totally unscathed. They have not announced a single thing about being canceled. And I do remember them saying that the president called Roger Goodell and was like, please, please don't cancel NFL, which exactly.
The president had the My Pillow guy on his press conference today. So like who fucking cares what he has to say? Guy is a bozo joke.
My God.
The My Pillow man came out to speak today about a pandemic.
Press conference to the world.
To the world, the daily press conference held at the White House with the President of the United States during a pandemic where hundreds of thousands of people are dying. The My Pillow man, everybody. Let's have
No, that's why I stopped watching. That's why I had to stop watching.
Yeah, he needs to just pardon Joe Exotic or it's not happening.
Dude, Joe Exotic's going to be our president in like 2024.
Oh,
I
for
can
sure.
feel
At
it.
this rate. One big chat
That
for
is happening.
everyone.
That shit is happening. This man will be president.
Kindle Stromus just predicted.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Just dropped her pick.
Yeah.
Her presidential pick.
her predict.
I was just saying to somebody at this point, whichever one of those old dudes that we have in the Democratic Party makes it through the pandemic, he gets the crown.
Who doesn't?
Whichever one's left standing after this shit, they get it.
Who has the strongest immunity?
This is like a whoever doesn't die.
Exactly. At this
You're
point, yeah. And even then, I'm sure if one does, they would still get like the votes because people are so stupid.
Oh yeah, it'd be like Weekend at Bernie's president.
Literally, it would be Bernie. Weekend at Bernie.
Yeah.
You know his following would be like, no. We gotta do something about this.
Bernie all the way, man.
Oh man, they will get a stick.
Bernie Bros in Miami.
The Bernie Bros are like, no, lift him up. We gotta figure this out.
The sunglasses, hurry up.
Oh man. Oh. Okay, well, back to the WNBA draft. Let's see. Blah, blah, blah. So in the draft, I put the draft order in here. It's going to be the Libs, New York Liberty, Dallas Wings, Indiana Fever, and Atlanta Dream. So those, I think there's like 2 or 3 Ducks. I mean, Sabrina's obviously going to go to New York Knicks.
I mean,
New York
Liberty. You think they'll fuck that up?
No, because Dolan has nothing to do with it.
Oh, then it's
He's got no ownership. He's completely out. So I think they're going to do what's right. Yeah. Let's see. Then you have the Phoenix Mercury, the Minnesota Lynx, Seattle Storm, Chicago Sky, Dallas Wings, Connecticut Sun get 2 picks back to back, and Washington Mystics. Kennedy Carter from Texas A&M's guard, she and 3-time All-American declared for 2020. So they're thinking, depending on because of the order of the draft picks, that she'll probably go 4th to the Atlanta Dream. So I believe Courtney Williams is on that team. They were the ones that was Connecticut Sun, but they have a really good chance to rebuild with that player. And then Sabrina most likely to New York Liberty, and Dallas Wings could probably get Sato Sabali, who I think she's a Duck as well. So there's, I feel like the top 4 teams are going to get like people we know we are talking about. And then but there's this senior class seems to have a lot of really, really great players, which also sucks so hard that we didn't get to see them play in the championship. So
we had our own March Madness happening right now.
Seriously.
March Sadness.
Yeah, it is March Sadness.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
On the Corona watch, Sydney Weiss, the LA Sparks player and former OSU, she tested positive.
Dang.
So this was what was crazy when I was reading about the story, was that she'd been playing overseas and she had like 2 cross-country trips to play in Spain where it's like a major hotspot now. They're saying it's like China.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the death rate, more deaths than China.
Exactly. So they're like, and this was in February when she'd been traveling a lot. And basically we knew in like the government knew, it's just such a giant fuck up. Like when you try to do the timeline and you're just like, I'm trying to do this detective work of like how this happens, you're starting to do all of those like lines.
Oh yeah, the timelines, you go back, you do look at the projections. I've been doing that dumb shit and I hate math.
I know, but you're just like, Jesus, like all these people, we've been fucking this like entire time, and we just didn't have the information. So this poor girl, she gets it. She goes back home in Phoenix to her parents, and her parents are like, yo, you sound like you might have it. You need to get tested. She gets tested on a Wednesday. She doesn't get her results until Friday. So that's like, 3 days where you're like, well, I may or may not have it. Let me go chill at the Olive Garden or some shit. Like, you know what I mean? Or let me hang with my family, my older parents.
Right.
And then you have to quarantine and do all of that stuff. So, it's not the best case, but she has self-quarantined. Apparently she's been asymptomatic, but she mentioned that her body just didn't feel right. She's like, I know my body, I know it wasn't right, especially like shortness of breath and then some of the cough. So she's tested positive, and we wish her well. And anybody, I just feel like there's just going to be more and more once these tests are rolling.
And like RJ was saying, right, like people she knows affected by it, like I'm still sort of, I think, 3 or 4 degrees separated from other people, but I feel like that's going to happen real soon in the inner circle,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had an old coworker who just got out of the hospital with it, and
Wow.
he said he put a video on his Facebook, and he said that he had been sick, and his wife was like helping him out at home, and then it got so bad that he finally went in, and he had taken a test, and by the time he had taken the test, he ended up in the hospital for 3 days.
Wow.
He was discharged from the hospital, and his test results still hadn't come back yet. So he was like, I 100% had it, but I'm not even part of the statistics because my test hasn't even come back saying that I've had it yet. Yeah. So he's like, any statistic you see right now, I'm not a part of it, but like next week, I'll probably be a part of it.
And it's just going to exponentially grow. I mean, I heard a nurse say like in her county when they were doing like state numbers, they mentioned like a certain number of cases. She's like, oh, it's triple that.
Yeah.
They're not even getting the numbers fast enough. It's nuts.
Yeah. My friend who lives in Modesto, his mom's a nurse practitioner, and she came home and she's like, we have, 2 cases just in my hospital alone, and there's no record of any of them. They're like, she's like, there's 2 of them here. I know for a fact we're working on them. There's 2, I know, but there's no record of them.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's nuts.
That's why, like, how do you wrap your hands around something that's just growing and doesn't have any enough oversight?
Yeah, you can't keep up with it.
You can't, because you're so ill-equipped.
Didn't New York say pretty much in a week they'll run out of any medical supplies that they need?
Pretty much.
They're putting bodies into refrigerated trucks.
Yeah. Yeah.
Some guy, there's a video going around Twitter yesterday where he happened to catch it. They had bodies on forklifts and they were lifting them into a refrigerated truck.
That sucks.
And then of course everybody in the mentions, oh, are you trying to cause horror and terror in people and anxiety? And it's like, no,
this is legit happening.
Yeah. This is happening.
Yeah. I've been seeing 2 people who are sharing their personal stories of contracting it, and then people are like, how much were you paid to share this story?
Right.
Jesus, man. Yeah.
Have you guys heard of all the conspiracy theories?
This is real shit.
Getting people killed.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, they're trying to get a microchip in us by, scaring us into a
please, no.
What's the other one? Oh,
you know what? I'm ready for the asteroid. Just take us out.
same. Yeah, we're like
Let's just do it.
global government is trying to have us acclimated to being sheltered and rationed off to because they're gonna just drop a bomb.
Cool story, bro.
You know what? Do it.
I saw the best tweet.
I don't even care anymore.
I saw the best tweet. If they can't tell you the 3 branches of government, then don't give me your conspiracy theory. You can't explain the electoral college. Don't give me your conspiracy theory.
If they're getting their news from the My Pillow guide,
Conspiracy theory.
I don't want your conspiracy theory.
Oh man, I can't even with that. I just have to let that go so I can move on. The fucking My Pillow guy was addressing the world. That should have been the straw that broke the camel's back. That every network is like, I'm sorry, sir, but we're done with you.
It's all ratings. He didn't give a shit.
Yeah.
It's all ratings.
That's what his voters voted for. Reality TV.
This is what he wants. He's
Bachelor-like ratings. Bachelor-like ratings.
He's like, oh, I have something that'll require me to be on live TV every single day.
Ugh. I rather, people want to talk smack about Gavin Newsom. I'd rather that fool be on TV every day, okay?
Oh, yeah, just to look at him.
Yeah, duh.
Are you catcalling, Kendall?
I am.
With Joe behind you.
Hubba.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm catcalling him.
Yeah.
Oh, stupid. All right.
Well, that was it for WNBA. Unless you women have something else to add.
You women
to have anything else. All right, we're gonna talk about we're gonna go into our next segment. All right. Okay. And if you do watch our video, you'll see that we dance during these breaks. So
Try to.
So catch us on the YouTube channel.
I screenshot it for Noah to TikTok it.
Right?
No.
Actually, you should do a dance to our theme song.
Okay, work.
Hit Hoops Talk Challenge. Okay, so NBA, I got some stuff for the NBA. Believe it or not, there's some stuff happening there as well. Number 1, James Dolan got tested positive for the COVID.
Wasn't he the one who didn't want the NBA to shut down and suspend games?
He's just a terrible human being. You know what? Like, I feel they should have a battle of the bands, and it should be Joe Exotic versus James Dolan. And that I would watch.
I'm down for that idea.
I'm fucking down for that.
I'm down.
Because you gotta admit, some of them Joe Exotic songs slap.
Those are some slappers. I'm not even gonna lie.
Definitely some slappers.
Joe's voice, I'm like,
yeah.
I mean, I saw a tiger. The tiger saw a man. Hello. Those lyrics alone are chef's kiss.
That's going to be the new theme song for the show moving forward next week.
Yes. Yes.
Oh, man. Woo. If I can find it.
It's out there. Come on.
Gotta YouTube it.
If I can find it.
I already saw I got peed on by a tiger shirt on Etsy. So
that's right. So James Dolan tested positive. They had a little tiny blurb in the New York Times over this weekend. Basically, no one in his camp is talking about it, or they don't want to talk to the press about it. I thought it was kind of funny in looking at the comments because I think it was Shams that it was his news break.
ShamWow.
ShamWow. And all the comments, like, that was one of those where I want to go, like, I want to be shady, but at the same time, it's like, it is pretty fucked up if you have coronavirus.
You're a bigger person.
You want to be like, oh, no.
And not bat an eye to talk smack about you.
Yeah, because, that's the kind of karma you do not want to get It ain't worth it to make fun of him in the comments so that you get the fucking Rona.
And what'd you call it? Corona karma?
That's right.
Corona karma, yeah.
Corona karma. I do not need that. You get that away.
James Dolan. If James Dolan was a Gen Zer, he would, like a TikTok star, he would for sure be the one that like goes and licks the public toilets during a pandemic to be like, hey,
but why lick a toilet to begin with?
And then he gets
post-Rona.
He would be that guy that licks the ice cream. Remember when that was like the
the thing?
Yeah.
Back in, like, 100%. 100%.
For sure.
So he's
That's
got
like a TikTok persona.
It's that one what's that one YouTube dude? It's that like really annoying Paul something.
Yeah.
Paul Logan.
Oh, Logan.
He's like that.
Logan Paul.
He's like
problem.
Yeah, he's that. So he tested positive. I'm sure there's a lot of people hoping this is how the Knicks get sold.
Dang, I wonder who that person is.
Actually, it's been kind of quiet with Anonymous Knicks fan 19.
Oh.
It's probably I would assume for a Knicks fan, this is the best case scenario is that there's no more games. So they don't have to have that viewing of all the losses every time they watch a game. It's heartbreaking. I would assume it's just heartbreaking. But yes, he tested positive, so we will be monitoring that because everybody wants to know if the Knicks are going to get sold. Let's see what else. The NBA is considering clustering teams to play in locations such as Bahamas and Las Vegas. So as part of the ideas, I know, hear me out, as part of the ideas that they're trying to have for the NBA to continue their season, is they figure if we take them to an island, right, we can test them and they're all negative, and then we can quarantine them, and then they can play and they get quarantined, tested, whatever, and then we do the season. One, I'd love to hear your thoughts on that, but for me, number one, leave the fucking islands alone. Okay, we don't need any more of that shit going down on any island. I mean, if we have not learned from Hawaii being raped by Europeans when they brought the fucking rats over and then they brought the mongoose and realized that both of them have different schedules, so they just raped that poor island of Hawaii. Let's just leave the islands alone. Let's not bring a COVID to any of the islands. And also, I think it's kind of, I don't know, I feel like it's like a Hunger Games where, you have to quarantine people just so that they can play for our amusement. That seems a little like, I don't know. Yeah.
Slavery?
Yeah, exactly. Like, then where's their family?
She said it.
So tell me, I agree with you. Elaborate. I love it. Tell me.
I mean, you're going to hold them on an island against their will just so they can make you money?
Yeah.
I mean,
ship them out. Right?
Work for me, entertain us, we'll make all the money, and you get to be on this cool island though. Like, they don't fucking want to be in the Bahamas. They can go and be in the goddamn Maldives if they want to. Like,
right.
Whatever.
I agree.
It's like, oh yeah, risk your life, get the Rona, because either you'll survive or we'll give you a beta vaccine, but that's okay because you make money. You're just an object.
It's terrible.
No, don't fucking do that.
Yeah, they need to fucking chill. I mean, I think the NBA is trying to do more than others, because I know in another news article I read, they are asking players or anyone in the NBA franchise who has been tested positive for coronavirus and then has recovered, they'd love for them to go and donate their blood because there could be the antibodies. Yeah. And so that is an NBA initiative that they're doing with their players. But at the same time, it's like, I don't know, they're very tricky on like the good versus some of the shit that they try to get away with. And that to me is one of those where I'm like, I think
it's just time to be like, let's chalk it up to the rest of the season is done. Like, quit coming up with these stupid ass ideas. Like, oh, you know what? What if we put them on a boat out in in international waters and have them play on top of the deck? Like, no, stop with the stupid ideas. It's over. Just chalk it up to the season's over.
Yeah,
NCAAs already called their shit.
Money, they pulled out whatever.
Yeah, like everybody's season's over. It's not like you guys are the only ones. It's just fucking call it already.
Yeah.
Stop with the bullshit.
I agree. Let's call it. We're calling it for you, NBA. You heard it here. It's been called.
And not only that, but like, go hang with your fucking families and quit coming up with these dumbass ideas on
exactly.
Like,
and it's not like the NBA owners or staff, front office, or coaches or players are hankering for money.
No, they're fine.
They have enough money. They have enough money. They will be fine.
Yeah, and we will be fine not having basketball.
Exactly.
Are fine.
It sucks. It absolutely does suck. And yes, I do think a lot of those athletes have a lot of time in their hands and they're doing a lot of IG lives, which some of them are good and some of them aren't. Like but just, you know what? Maybe they just need to relax. Like, go do something that doesn't involve you having to be the center. Why don't
they just keep designing more NBA gear and basketball gear because everyone could shop from home?
Yeah.
Exactly. There you go.
That's a great idea.
Auction off a one-on-one Zoom chat with a player. You know, people pay thousands for that.
Well, that's actually a good segue into the fact that Kobe Bryant's farewell towel sold at auction for over $30,000.
Ooh, that's an expensive towel.
No
shit. Was it washed?
I hope not.
I hope not.
The body armor towel was draped on Kobe during his Mamba Out speech on his last game on April 13, 2016. It was purchased by David Kohler. And he is apparently a Lakers super fan. That
Wait, is he the Kohler?
Like the wash your hands, Kohler.
Yep. Yep. He's the faucets and the tubs and the bathrooms. And I don't know if they do toilets, but they know they do a lot with sinks.
They might have toilets.
They might have toilets. And he's apparently a Lakers super fan, and ultimately he wants to create a museum with his enormous collection of Los Angeles memorabilia. So
okay, so he's pocketing at 30, or is it going to any kind of charity?
He sold it.
He bought it
for 30.
Oh,
yeah, he bought it for 30,000.
But a lot of times when they sell like the memorabilia, that's usually if it's an NBA or MLB or NFL kind of thing, right? It goes to their foundations or.
Oh no, this was done through one of the auction houses.
Oh.
Like, one of those big auction. I forget the name of it, but
yeah,
it's one of the bigger ones that I've seen. Like in Vegas, they'll do like signings with different players and they sell it. So it's a private. It's not.
Who stole that from that game?
Real
up in a safe and then pulled it out at the right moment.
Probably Lamar Odom.
His towel, then was like,
he's like, I need something for my habits.
Yeah. Imagine having $30,000 to drop on a towel.
Ugh, seriously.
A towel.
You're like, that's a car.
Let me just write that check out real fast for you. I'm like, $30,000? I'm rich.
That's not even a check, babe. He literally had the cash stacked up in his safe.
Oh yeah, he probably just pulled out his Velcro wallet. He's got 30 grand.
His Velcro OP wallet. He's on
with a chain connected to his pants.
Well, I look forward to the Kohler family documentary on Netflix because
the making
that's
of
gonna be a
memorabilia
fun museum. We got faucets over here, or you can go this route to the Lakers.
It's all wet themed, the towel. It's all a water themed museum.
Oh God! Be all bathrooms.
We've got our toilet section over here, and we've got our Lamar Odom section next to it.
Well, I mean, wash your hands. That guy, they're probably making tons of money with that faucets right now. So that happened. Another thing, which I thought this was really interesting. At first I thought it was dumb, but now I'm thinking this through. I think it's really interesting. So the big three, Ice Cube and the co-founders are considering doing a quarantined Big Three / Big Brother style of a competition. So it'd be a preseason where you get corona-free players, right? So you have 16 people in a house, and you make sure they don't have coronavirus, and they all live together, and they compete against one another in, like, I guess 3-on-3. And so the cameras are always rolling, and it's kind of like a Big Brother meets Big Three. I don't know. Paul Pierce said that he would consider joining. And then I think Kendrick Perkins was like, this is not a good idea, but I don't know. Like, could it be? Could it be a good idea?
I think if the names are big enough.
I think maybe even a sprinkle of big names, it's going to be good TV. But I have a problem with giving tests to people who don't have symptoms and, that piece of it. But reality,
I'd fucking watch it.
Yeah. It reminds me of not Celebrity Fit Club. What's the other one? Surreal Life, where they had the house and they had all the like Vanilla Ice and Flava Flav and all that.
Oh yeah.
Oh god.
Oh, was that one Flava Flav and what's her name?
New York.
Nielsen.
Oh
no,
yes.
They got married or something.
Yeah. Oh god.
Relationship.
Could be interesting because I can imagine Paul Pierce being so annoying, and imagine like their tempers flaring, because you know how petty these guys are too.
Yeah, there'd be a lot of shit talking.
Oh, absolutely.
But maybe instead of fighting, they got to go one-on-one on the basketball court out in the garage and just.
Well, I think that's the whole thing, is that they would play and then you would watch them after the games, as they're, I don't think they get to, I mean, I'd be interested in the confessional, they usually have a confessional pod where they get to talk about like, oh, so-and-so keeps eating my cereal or,
God, I feel like you'd have to keep that house super stocked with food. Like it would just be gone in a day.
Roommate. I want to see roommates. That's what it gets.
Just these giant men in twin beds.
Well, they're talking about, they're trying to do something. Hell, if you're going to try anything, now's the time, because you got captive audience and people are fucking getting bored, even with competitive Netflix binge watching. How many different, there has to be, the big streaming services, if you think about it, you have Netflix, you have all like the HBO shows, Stars, all those, right?
Plus, yep.
You have Disney Plus, you have Hulu, you have Prime, then you have any of your like Criterion collection, then you have Apple TV that has their own series, plus their movies, plus their TV shows. Those are the tip tops. And then you can get like real nichey with like Moby and Quibi and YouTube, so there's a lot out there and we're getting bored. So we need Tiger King 2, Electric Boogaloo.
Yeah, we do. Yeah, we do.
To Karen's point, we need a pardon.
Get his ass out.
That or a conviction,
We have something. The trial. Tiger King, the trial.
Trial or a fifth wedding for Doc Ansel, something.
Oh my God. Oh God. Yeah, so apparently he was like, he put out something on Twitter that said, oh, it's unfortunate that we were mentioned in the Tiger King. It's like, I think you're a little bit more than mentioned.
Mentioned? You directed half of your scene, sir.
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
Yeah, you were pretty much like the guy calling the shots on that.
Right.
Well, they probably filmed for a day, but they got enough footage to just weave them in all episodes.
Oh, he was willing, ready, and able. So I don't want to hear no shit about him trying to say like, it's unfortunate that we were brought up on this. It's like, you almost have an entire episode on your own. Plus he has one of his wives that was like, let me tell you the real, tea here.
Right. While I said
what
the
happened.
comfort of my home back to being a brunette.
Exactly. Yeah. But she couldn't get rid of her implants, She's like, the implants, I thought the implants were a request, but they had the doctor's appointment ready. So it's like,
yeah, but then she was like, but at least like I got to rest afterwards.
I know, that's what was her reasoning. So she didn't have to work for 3 days.
We lost
oh my God. I just thought I almost died.
Liz was the first down.
I almost died. Oh my God. It's insane. That's a cult. He needs to be investigated further.
Truth.
Fucking Doc Kelly over there.
Yeah.
Let's see. Another little tidbit is Space Jam. LeBron says that it's still on track for a June 2020 release or 2021 release. Personally, I didn't care for Space Jam 1. So I might be the only, like, that might be controversial, but
You might have been that generation, just a little too old for it.
yeah,
Yeah.
I didn't care
Space
for it.
Jam 1 was good. I don't think we needed 2.
It's for the millennials with kids, because it's something we can actually watch with them.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
I don't know. It just
I don't
feels
have
like
kids.
it feels like you're just adding to this whole LeBron versus MJ thing now, right?
True.
Yeah.
But
Like-
also, I mean, they're gonna have to loop in some Corona shit, and it might be a little tone deaf, or it might be I don't know, because that first one, they were all invaded by aliens, like.
And they shut the league down.
As long as they have Klay Thompson in it, I might watch it because he's my fave. Love that guy.
You know, on the Nike site, they're selling, LeBron has his monster shoe collection, and then they have the monster jerseys and the other jerseys. I'm like, there's already merch for it before the movie comes out. I don't
believe it. I'm sure.
You know, they're filming it at that James Goldstein. Is that his house? The guy who's the house that the Big Lebowski was filmed at.
Oh, snap.
He's also he's that man that you always see that looks like
he's the NBA superfan.
Yeah, he's crazy looking.
They're filming it.
Big bolero hat and like gold shirt.
They're filming it at his outdoor basketball court that like overlooks LA.
Yeah,
impressive. I'm impressed. I might see it just for that because that's pretty cool. I love the Big Lebowski, so that would be interesting to see. Also in LeBron James news, just want to add this, that he had the 2K lawsuit about his tattoo was thrown out. So apparently the tattoo, I don't know if it was the artist, but it was a collective maybe. They were suing 2K for having the tattoos that they've created, on the players as they're playing. Because I think it was LeBron was the biggest one, and there was a couple other players that you could see their tattoos. And the judge ruled throughout the lawsuit because she cited that the tattoos are too small to really register, and that the players aren't really on the screen long enough for it to register, and they're in movement. So she's like, nah, this doesn't fly. So there you go.
I mean, also, isn't it like, and Liz and Kendall, I mean, we always work with like copyright issues and stuff, but like a lot of times when people buy art and it becomes owned to them, an artist sometimes release that copyright. If something's on my body, I can't take pictures with it you know what I mean? Like I can't take pictures with my tats or anything like that. You're going to try to like.
Well, another piece of the ruling said that because none of the tattoos were actually used in any of the marketing, right? So it wasn't like he was on the cover in his tattoos.
Yeah.
So that's another thing as well. It's like you're not directly, like when they did the Mike Tyson face tattoo, that was used as almost like a main element, right, to the story. The fact that guy went and got that face tattoo done. So that had different nuance, and that's actually something. I don't think people are playing 2K going, oh, the tattoos are part of the narrative for this game.
Yeah. There's too much going on. No one's paying attention to that shit.
Yeah. So I thought that was interesting because, when we talk about those laws, and these guys have to navigate through a lot of that stuff.
Everybody wants to make money. We're a lawsuit happy
country.
country.
Yeah. Like
anything to make money.
The 4 lawyers in Miami who want to sue China because they think it was a bioengineered virus, and I think it's some kind of settlement for anyone that's suffering from it.
You know what? Just watch Contagion. That's probably how it happened. A fucking bat barfed, a pig ate it, the chef cooked it, and Goop ate it. So that's it.
Right? Outbreak too. Outbreak, man. That one.
Outbreak was a fucking monkey. I watched that the other night.
They're all sneezing on everyone, and then like
the monkey scratched the dude, and he went and kissed
James Marsden.
Yeah, I mean, it's just, you know, that's probably how it happened. I'm sure it wasn't bioengineered. People need to like wash your hands.
Yeah,
wash your hands. Don't eat bat vomit. Just stay away from
that. Listen to scientists and not idiots.
Yeah, I mean, I get, just chill. No exotic animals. I'm sorry, Joe Exotic. You need to chill because everybody knows you boiled those alligators alive.
No, Joe Exotic was eating that old Walmart meat, remember?
Oh, yeah, from the expired meat from the truck.
Old
that
Walmart pizza.
Dinner? Oh, that Thanksgiving dinner, really, I was just like, that's how fucking Rona.
That one guy being like, oh, this is still frozen. I'm going to take this home.
Oh, that's very problematic. Don't do it, guys. Don't eat expired Walmart meat.
And they shouldn't have been giving them tigers cheap meat because look what happened. They were going for someone's arm.
Yeah.
So hungry.
Yeah. Oy. Well, we learned a lot today about what not to do. Thank you, Joe Exotic, for that. That was it, my ladies.
Oh, yeah.
That is it.
What?
Can you believe it? Unless you guys have anything else you want to add to this talk soup.
No, we got to maybe think through some games or something to get people betting and money. I don't know.
Prize pack.
That's on hold because I
we
don't
can bet on that. When is Karen gonna?
Yeah, that's gonna be. When is Karen's prize pack gonna be ready?
And I'll ship it up.
We're taking bets. DM us with your bet on when that's over and under. Is the coronavirus going to be gone before the prize pack, or is the prize pack going to come before the end of coronavirus?
Do a poll to LeBron's hand powder or SARS. Which one do you want?
We'll see. Thank you to our guest, RJ White. She's amazing, inspirational CEO, boss lady, owner of a basketball team. Look her up, follow her. She's at the _RJ_White. We're following her. We'll tag her in all of our things, so you can make sure you follow her. Follow Vipers men's basketball. We'll tag all that up as well. Again, thanks for listening. Make sure you subscribe and review Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Pandora, all the places. Follow us, and you can DM us at our social handles. We're on Twitter and Instagram at The Hoops Talking. We are on TikTok. Our Hoops Talk intern is posting on that, and we're The Hoops Talk Podcast. And we have a YouTube channel. So if you want to see these amazing backgrounds and our, Tiger King inspired episode, check us out on our YouTube channel. We'll have those up as well. So other than that, keep, I know how we want you to keep it. Make sure you wash your hands, but after you wash your hands, Karen, how do we want to keep it? We want to keep it ready and petty.